Hello and welcome. I'm just waiting to see who's coming on. I just hit go live and just getting started here. Today's Tuesday, the last day of June. I'm in my new office space. I'm so excited. It's been a dream of mine for just maybe a month and a half. I just decided, oh, my glasses are crooked. A month and a half ago, maybe it's been 2 months now, the end of April, I went back home to Seattle and I was introduced to VAT, which is vibroacoustic therapy. It's a sound frequency healing. I went there. I was actually in Seattle, Edmonds, where I grew up, to say our final goodbyes to my dad. It had been 1 year since he had passed. And my friend Monica said, hey, come on and experience that with me, with my friend. And so I went, and as I'm laying in that bed, I'm like, okay, this is it. This is why I need an office, because I'm going to offer this. So more to come on that. It's a central nervous system regulator. It also is for pain management. It's, getting you to that healing place. Has all sorts of benefits, but I'm going to be talking about that in the weeks to come. But, I had to have an office to do that. So I did. And I even, look at my microphone is on a stand. It's like not attached to my table. I'm so excited. So we don't have anybody joining us yet, but I have a feeling people will be coming on. So let's get started. Today is Tuesday, so it must be True North Tuesday. And the name of our program, our episode today is Clarity Grows in Safety. So we're going to be talking more about that central nervous system. So hello, welcome everyone. I'm Laurie Lynnsee. I'm an author, I'm a spiritual teacher, and I'm an intuitive guide. And I help midlife women reconnect with themselves so that they can trust their intuition, regulate their central nervous system, and live from their inner wisdom instead of fear, people-pleasing, and self-doubt. So that's a little bit about what I do. If you have found yourself ever saying, I just wish I knew what to do, or I can't hear my intuition anymore, or why can't I make a decision? Or are you the one who could plan your daughter's wedding, but you stand in the kitchen every night at 5 o'clock saying, what the heck can I make for dinner? You're my kind of people. So today's conversation is for you. If any of that described you, this place is for you. Because what if the problem isn't that you lack clarity? What if your central nervous system has simply been trying to keep you alive? And today we're talking about something that completely changed how I understood intuition, healing, and confidence. Clarity grows in safety. That's it. That's the key right there. To have clarity, your body needs to feel safe. And we're going to talk about that more today. So for years, I believed clarity was something I had to chase. Maybe if I meditated longer, or I read another book, or pulled another card. Oh my goodness, yes, Laurie Lynnsee reads cards. She does. And it's okay. What if I just ask another person and eventually I would know what to do? But here's what I learned. Your intuition never disappeared. It simply was being drowned out by survival mode. And when our nervous system believes we are unsafe, even emotionally, we become focused on protection instead of perception. And our brain begins scanning for danger. So let's just talk a little bit about what our central nervous system does. How are we programmed as human beings when it comes to the central nervous system? So our central nervous system is that place in our body that says, oh my gosh, something terrible is about to happen and you better either fight or you better flight or you freeze. It's that thing inside of you that it's your warning system. It's a boop, 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 do something. It's that, 200 years ago, there was a buffalo coming over the hill and you better run and hide or you better figure out what you're going to do, right? That's your central nervous system. And it is a very important part of being human. We have to have a central nervous system. However, in 2026, there's no buffalo coming over the hill. What we have is constant emails and constant breaking news. I'm sorry, breaking news is not that, the commander in chief fell asleep. That's not breaking news. I could find out about that 2 days from now, and it wouldn't change who I am. But our media does that to us. It's constant fight or flight. And we need to take action now. Do we need to take action now? I mean, my God, a man wore a tan suit about 15 years ago, and it was breaking news. Really? That's just crazy. So when we're constantly in that fight or flight or elevated central nervous system, you know what we do? We overthink things. We replay conversations in our head. How many of you have done that? Like, okay, the next time this happens, I'm going to say this and then this, and hopefully they'll hear what I have to say. Another thing we do is we second guess ourselves. We become hyper vigilant. Now that might not be a word you've heard in a while, but a ton of us are living in that hyper vigilant state. Like, we're ready. It's like, we're in Iraq or Iran, and we constantly have to know what's going on around us. No, we don't. That is a fallacy. And here's the important part. This isn't about weakness. You are not weak. It's biology. Your nervous system isn't trying to ruin your life. It's trying to protect you. And that's its number one job. It's trying to protect you. And we need that survival instinct. We have to have that survival instinct to survive. But we can't constantly be in the survival instinct because it clouds everything we do. So the beautiful thing that once your body begins to feel safe, meaning we've lowered our fight or flight and we're regulating our central nervous system, everything changes. Trust me, everything changes. Now, does it change for the rest of your life? No. It changes for that moment. And when you hit another bump in the road, you know how to regulate yourself so you don't step on the crazy train. So when everything changes, you begin to notice the quiet wisdom that's been inside of you all along. You already actually have all the answers that you need. It's just that there's so much craziness going on around you that it's hard to just breathe. It's hard to decide what's for dinner. Decisions become easier when your body calms down and feels safe. And you stop asking everyone else what you should do. And you begin to trust yourself again. Not because you suddenly became different. No, you're still the same person. You're just learning to regulate yourself. But because the noise finally settled down enough for you to hear your inner compass. And we all have an inner compass. There's nothing woo-woo about that. That is the way our Creator created us. That's it. It's a guidance system. And I'm here to teach you about that guidance system. This is why nervous system regulation is not separate from your intuition. And don't think of intuition as that woo-woo thing that, us love and light people practice. Everybody has intuition. And being able to read it is something that you can learn. It's not a gift that's magically placed upon your head. It's something that you can learn. Some people naturally have or are more in touch with their intuition. But even me, who has gifts of, I can read energy, I still work on my intuition. I still do it. And that the central nervous system, I just said, isn't separated from our intuition. It is the foundation of our intuition. So I know what it feels like to live in survival mode. So I'm in my late 50s, and I've lived in survival mode a lot of my life. I was an educator, I was a principal, I was a district office administrator. That alone put me in survival mode. I loved my job. I did. I loved being around kids. I loved being around teachers. I did. But that constant living by the bell and that constant, your phone is ringing because a parent is upset, you're living in survival mode. So when life feels like one stress after another and technology doesn't cooperate, and if you follow me, you know You know that technology is not my friend. I have all sorts of internet issues. Um, Today was an absolute miracle. So the Wi-Fi guy came on. He came in. Somebody just came in, so I diverted my attention. But today I was supposed to have my Wi-Fi turned on this morning, sometime between 10 and 12. And I thought, okay, I'm going to go live at noon, regardless. And I calmed my central nervous system by saying, so if I don't have internet, I'm just going to use my hotspot. Well, he arrived at 9:45 and he was out of here by 10:30. And I didn't have to work myself up into a lather. Hi, Sherry, welcome. You're never late. You're right where you're supposed to be. So just getting back to what I was saying, I know what it feels like to be in survival mode, and technology is one thing that I struggle with, and my central nervous system can flare up really quickly with technology. Relationships can be feeling heavy. And I know for a lot of you, a lot of my clients have said, I've had to walk away from people in my life. And that's your central nervous system talking to you. That's your intuition. You know, we all have deadlines piled up, whether we're still working or we're at home. There's still that deadline. Okay, you're having people over next week and you got to get this house whipped into shape. You want to get someone in to clean the carpets. Those are deadlines. And you have unexpected problems that keep appearing. So I'm not here to tell you that what I teach is going to magically make your life better, or that, well, I am going to make your life better. I take that back. What I'm not going to say is that that your life's going to be perfect. But I can give you tools as a teacher to how to deal with problems in your life that don't make your central nervous system go off the rails. I like to call it the crazy train. Your body, when you have unexpected problems that keep creeping up, your body is braced for the next thing. You are ready. You are in fight or flight. And I just talked about that earlier, how it's like, you know, we're fighting a battle and I have to know who's behind me, who's coming after me. I got to be ready in case something happens. People live like that today. They are constantly looking for something and they're bracing for it. Do you want to live that way? And you know what? I've had seasons in my life when I wondered why I couldn't hear my intuition clearly. And it wasn't because spirit stopped talking to me. It wasn't that at all. And when I say spirit, I'm talking about Jesus. I'm talking about God, Creator, Allah, whoever your higher power is. Your higher power is always talking to you. And it wasn't, you know, during those times, it wasn't that spirit stopped speaking to me. It was because my nervous system was overwhelmed. It was totally overwhelmed. And I bet a lot of you out there are saying, my nervous system is totally overwhelmed. When you're standing in your kitchen and you can't decide what to make for dinner, that's a sign. Because that should be a simple decision. That should be open up the refrigerator. Oh, I have pork chops. Oh, I have a side of rice. Oh, here's some broccoli in the crisper. Okay, done. But now it's like, what's my husband going to say? You know, and if you have children, what are the children going to say? I don't know if I want that. And I can't decide. Does that taste good? Just make the meal. If you build it, they will come. Trust me. And once I learned to create moments of safety, even small ones, I noticed something remarkable in my life. The answers didn't suddenly appear. I simply became quiet enough to recognize what I'm going to start all over again. Can you tell I'm reading a script? Yeah, I'm a script lady. I simply became quiet enough to recognize what was already inside of me. That's the power of safety. Once you have safety in your central nervous system and you're not living in fight or flight, it's totally amazing how different you hear the world. So let's do a little practice together. I want to guide you through a short visualization. And if it feels comfortable, you can close your eyes. If you're at the office, you don't have to close your eyes. You can just kind of pretend that you're working, like what you were doing 20 minutes before you joined me. So take a slow, deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. And breathe in again, in through the nose and out through the mouth. And I want you to imagine yourself 6 months from now. And you've been working on regulating your central nervous system. I want you to imagine yourself 6 months from now. Not because everything around you has become perfect, but because your body finally feels safe. Notice how you walk. Notice your shoulders. Are they up like this? Or are they relaxed down like this? Notice your breathing. Is it a steady breath or is it shallow? Notice the expression on your face. This is you 6 months from now. Imagine making a decision from peace instead of panic. Imagine making decisions from peace instead of panic. How does that feel? Do you want to be there? Imagine trusting your first gentle knowing. Imagine your body is saying to you, yes, let's do that, or no, that doesn't sound very good. I'm not going to do that. It's there. Trust me, it's there, and you can get there too. Imagine waking up and not immediately bracing for the day. Oh my gosh, I got 45 minutes. The alarm didn't go off. I gotta take a shower. I gotta get dressed. I gotta get out the door. Oh my God, I gotta make breakfast. Oh, I gotta get the meeting. Imagine waking up and just saying, oh, my alarm didn't go off. Okay. And just moving on. I'm not saying your life is perfect, but once you've managed that fight or flight in your body, then waking up a little bit late is not, you don't have to board the crazy train. So ask yourself, what changes when I no longer live in survival mode? What would that look like for you? I have a chair with wheels and it turns. I'm trying not to turn when I'm talking to you, so yeah, it's my new chair. Allow whatever comes up in you. So what changes when I no longer live in survival mode? What changes for you? There's no right answers. So what I might say and what you might say is totally different, and that's okay because you have your life and I have my life. I have my inner compass, you have your inner compass. Sherry says, wake up and say, time to greet the day. I love that. Instead of being in a rush and a panic, I'm just going to wake up and enjoy whatever comes forward. So I want you to take one more deep breath in and release. And imagine that woman 6 months from now. Do you want to be that woman 6 months from now? Let's gently return to who you are today. So I'd love to hear from you. I've already heard from Sherry in the comments. What would your life look like if your body finally felt safe? What would that feel like for you if your body finally felt safe? For me, it's waking up with peace. It's waking up and hearing the birds outside. I love that. And I live in Minnesota, which is kind of the frozen tundra, and we still have birds in the winter. And I absolutely love waking up as the sun's going up and hearing those birds. That to me, my body is safe because I'm not thinking about what's going to happen in the next 15 minutes or hour. I'm living in the present. And for me, that's safety. That's safety. And it's not that things have changed around me, it's what's changed inside of me. So what you need, you can't always change what's around you and outside of your body, but you have total control to change what's going inside of your body. You can't change the way your kids act or your grandkids act or your coworkers act. You can change how you react. I grew up in a household where my mom, we were constantly learning to better ourselves. My mom went through a crisis when I was about 9. And from that moment on, I was taught things like you can't control everything around you. You can only control yourself. And if you want to talk to somebody about something, you go straight to the source. You don't tell all your neighbors. You don't tell your best friend. You go right to the source and say, you know what happened the other day, it hurt me. So I was raised in this environment, but I also have had periods of time in my life when I have been on the crazy train. And I've had to re-regulate myself. Because things do happen. There are bumps in the road. There are crazy things that happen because that's life. But if you learn simple techniques to ground yourself again, then those crazy things will happen and you will deal with them better. I'm not saying your life is going to be perfect, but you can deal with them better. So if you have ideas, share your thoughts in the chat. Even if you are watching the replay, I read all the comments that come through, all of them, and respond. Because I feel it's important. I feel it's so important to communicate with people, especially around these topics. And if you don't feel safe commenting in the open comments, you can always message me. You can message me through Messenger on Facebook. You can even send me an email. It's in the show notes, Laurie@laurielynnsee.com, and I respond. So let's finish up today. If today's conversation resonated with you, I want you to know something. Healing isn't about becoming someone new. It's about creating enough safety that the real you can finally emerge. That's exactly what we do inside my private mentorship. My Trust Yourself Again 3-month membership is for women who are ready to stop living from fear and begin living from self-trust. And the method, I have it written right over here. We start by regulating, then we reconnect, we recognize, trust, and then we follow our intuition or follow our inner compass. That's the method. It's a 3-month program. So together we work on nervous system regulation, reconnecting with our intuition, identifying your strongest intuitive gifts. And we also use a lot of journaling because journaling is a great way for you to get some deep awareness and create lasting change through personalized coaching. If you're looking for a gentler place to begin, my Compass study program is just a 1-month program. So I offer a 3-month and a 1-month. And my 1 month is you get to choose a class from my library, and then I will walk you through the class. We'll meet twice in a month and make it personalized for you. So both of those are available on my website. And if you just want an ongoing community and weekly regulation practices, I'd love for you to come to Meditation Monday. And one of the people joining us today is, can I talk? No. One of the people that's watching today is in Meditation Monday, and she has been with me since the beginning. And we gather every Monday evening. It's 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Eastern, and then work your way backwards. But we meet for maybe an hour, and we meditate for probably 15 minutes. We do some journaling, and then, it's kind of a Q&A, and we kind of just chat about what's going on with ourselves. That is available to all of you. So you can find all my resources at www.laurielynnsee.com. So if today's message encouraged you, please like and share this video. You can subscribe here on YouTube or follow me on Facebook and share it with somebody who needs the reminder that they are not broken. None of you are broken. You're just overwhelmed by the crazy. Clarity isn't something waiting somewhere out there. It's been quietly waiting underneath your central nervous system. And you will finally begin to feel safe once you have regulated it. So until next Tuesday, keep listening to your inner compass, and I'll see you then. Love and light to all of you. So thank you for showing up live, and we will see you next week. This has been awesome. I've been waiting to itch my nose the whole time. I hope you're all having a blessed day. And I am so fortunate that as soon as I finish True North Tuesday, I hop on over to my friend who does a meditation for about 20 minutes afterwards. And it's so perfect for me because I get a little keyed up. I get a lot of excitement going on in my body when I do True North Tuesday. And then I go to this breathing mindfulness short session afterwards. So I'm so grateful that that's my life, and I love it. So goodbye, Sherry. Love you. Love you, all of you that watched today. Those of you peeking in and those that came into the room, I hope you're all having a blessed day. This recording will be out sometime this afternoon. So if you didn't catch the whole thing, feel free to watch the replay. The replay will be available on YouTube and on Facebook. So love and light.